What up? What up? Welcome to the Sneaker History Podcast. If you're watching on YouTube, obviously you can see we got a special guest today. I got two mics with me. I got Mike S
Hey,
and
good
Mike
people, man.
G with me.
Yeah,
Yeah. So that's
let's go.
definitely my experience. So how you doing, man?
Good, man. Blessings, man. Can't complain, man. It's cold in New York. We got like 12 feet of snow, but I'm good to go, man.
Oh, that's too much snow. I heard, like, from my actual job, I had some people work with in New York, and yeah, 18 to 24 inches of snow you guys are projected to get.
Yeah, man. It's like a snowstorm lasting 2 to 3 days, so it's a
Mm-mm.
little crazy right now.
If I ever see
Yeah,
like a
man.
flurry of snow, I'm like, nope, lock it up, stay inside. We're in Texas. We don't like that.
Yeah, it's
Yeah, we're good.
it's it's one of those things though. Like I don't know. Like after living in New York for a couple of years, I came to appreciate it every once in a while. Not all of them. Some of them are just like they hit at the wrong time.
True,
But
true,
being in
true.
California and spending the last few years in LA where like it just doesn't get cold
Oh,
at all.
Uh,
I mean, I still like driving to visit the snow more than living in it, but I do
True.
miss it a little bit. A little bit.
Yeah. We don't get it too often anymore, man. So I like when it like tends to shut down the city and like you're left to stay at home. You really have no choice, and you get to chill and
Yeah,
work
Yeah.
on stuff you haven't gotten to. So it's cool. I welcome the snowstorm, man.
wait, so I
Yeah,
gotta know,
man.
is it Tim's or ACGs? What you rocking out there when you have to go, get some food? Like, what's up?
Me, man, I had to pull out. Yeah, I have a high top of Nike Air Force One Wheats that I'm wearing out in the snow, man.
Oh, okay, all right, all
It ain't
right.
that bad, man. So I I manage, man.
So I was trying to think back, like Mike. So Mike runs a company called Solepack. Solepack is well much more than just the Solepack SP1 at this point, right? SP1 is the attachment that goes on the backpack,
Yeah,
kind of
right.
gives you a spot to carry your sneakers. And I mean, we probably connected 10 years ago at this point, right? Like I lived in New
Yeah,
York
man.
in
It's crazy.
2012, 13ish. So um, time flies and we're both still moving
That's it.
forward, which is awesome. It's crazy, but
Yeah.
um,
It is.
I guess like let's give the audience a little intro as like how you got into sneakers and how Soul Pack kind of came to be.
For sure, for sure. And again, I think that was around 10 years ago, Nick. It's been crazy, man. Yeah, thank you for the early coverage from back in the day. From am I allowed to mention where you covered me or?
Yeah, of course, yeah.
Yeah, man. Like, much respect to the Soul Collector article that you first had us in, man. Was real OG stuff for us, and I never forget that. So I appreciate that. But
Of course, man.
for me, sneakers is I'm the youngest of four kids, so four boys. So everyone else always got the nicer pair of sneakers and whatnot, and I was always looking, admiring, and just kind of getting a feel for what sneakers were at the time. So I still have early memories of opening up that box, smelling the shoe, and that lasting memory never quits for me. But I think my brother's coming home with this is like 80s, 90s. We had like the suede Pumas, rocking the fat shoelaces, man, and just every pair of Nikes from back in the day, like Nike Revolutions. My brother came home with. I was like, "Yo, man!"
Yeah,
Just crazy stuff, man. And yeah, I just fell in love with sneakers. Just the culture for me was that whole storytelling, and I was the kid that went to the mall every time and ran through Athlete's Foot all the time. And Athlete's
Yeah.
Foot did such a great job storytelling, man. From the big ass, like I forgot whose Elgin Baylor's shoe was in the window or something like that, and it's just wild. I just loved going in there, from the tennis stories told to basketball to whatever. So that's where the culture started for me.
Nice.
yeah, and,
Crazy.
and you were, I mean, I know you're big into running, right? And I think like you don't have to get too much of your personal background, but you're on that side of the world, right? And like
Uh,
so how did that all kind of? I mean, it seems like a natural fit. I guess you just for kind of fulfilling your own need here when you come up with it the
yeah,
first time.
kind of. I was basketball was were my roots, man. It was everything was all basketball for me at one point in my life. College, you wanted to play pros overseas and whatnot. But I think running became my thing to do after, I started getting out of organized ball after a while, and I wanted to stay active, and running was fulfilled that need for me since I was just staying home watching TV. I was like, I got to do something else than just watching reruns all the time, man. So I started running, man. I started just picking up shoes, and then I started connecting with all these urban running cultures. Shout out to the bridge runners out there and all the New York City crews that put us on and embraced me on my journey, man. These guys like original cats that started. Shout out to Coach Mike Sace and Cedric. Those guys really started this culture of underground running, which kind of it's almost like the culture started almost like hip hop started back in the day. These guys put a whole new stamp of what running is, and almost bringing people of color into the running scene and kind of connecting with the world. And those guys put me on, and we just started cutting bags for them, cutting bags for other crews in New York and around the world too. So that was a few years ago now already, but I kind of to those guys for having us on.
So you kind of were able to like really like service all those smaller communities, right? Like that seems to be like from a distance, we talked about it way back in the day, but like from a distance, it seems like you've been really able to successfully do like just be a part of these communities that have then turned around and supported and had their, people support you with what you're doing, right? It sounds like.
Yeah, definitely. I think I always try to come off from a true and honest, start footing with any groups that we associate ourselves with, and I say at the same time, I always try to reach out to things that are germane to me, from basketball to running to to sneakers. I try not to step into a circle where I may not speak that same language or whatnot, or it comes off unauthentic, man. So, I think that's that commonality of speaking that same language of that culture really resounds well, and appreciate all those the communities that always welcome us, man.
Yeah, man. Go ahead.
No. I was just gonna say, kind of following up. It's just as you're small business owner, you're going out there hitting these different spots in the community, just trying to make sure you, like say, you find an authentic partnership that person to work with or to cater to. Where's the challenge do you find in that? Like, how do you, what is the challenge, and then how do you find yourself kind of like overcoming it to get whatever you're looking to get done?
Yeah, a lot of it is, we count our blessings that you try to find the person that sees your vision almost, right? And a lot of that, even with the running crews or the basketball programs here in New York or LA, it's you try to find people that are trying to do something different and see someone else's vision, that you kind of come to that same melting point almost. And those are the things. If someone doesn't see your vision, for me, trying to the uphill battle for me, it's always introducing a new concept, man. We're not just releasing a new T-shirt or a new pair of shoes. We have a whole new concept that people never thought of before, man. Like you're adding sneakers, extra real estate onto your existing backpack, so people don't know, what to make of that yet. They don't know what price points are in their head. They don't know, do I really need that? So that has been the uphill battle. At the same time, a blessing that we have a unique product on the market for several years now, and that's blessed challenges and again blessings at the same time.
Nice.
Yeah. I mean, it's interesting because I think of just like the first time, I think, let's see, I think you probably sent me it first before I met you in person, and I was in LA, and at that time I was literally like tethering my BlackBerry to my laptop and working from the beach. I was living like the broke man's dream, right? Because like I didn't have an office and I was remote working, but everything was limited to how long my laptop battery would last and how long my BlackBerry battery would last. But I remember getting it and thinking like, this is a game changer, right? Because just in that example, right? Just I always wanted to be near the beach. Like I still like that's like the goal. Like my idea of retirement is literally just a laptop plugged in at the beach so I can work still because I love doing what I do, but I want to be sitting out there in the sun. But I remember like you sending me the SP1 originally and throwing it on my backpack and like being able to change shoes. Like I had these like weird Adidas, I don't even remember what they were called, but they were like aqua sock type things where it's like, they're holes in the bottom so you could get in the water if you wanted to.
Oh, nice.
But like, without I didn't even know I needed the product, right? That was the beautiful thing about it originally when we talked, or when, I discovered it, is because like I could literally throw these in the Solepack. I could wear whatever I needed to, or wear those to the beach, throw those in the Solepack, and have the other shoe to throw on to do whatever I needed to do throughout the day. If I was, because I was either on a skateboard or on a bike most of the time living in Santa Monica. So it was like this, it was like a beautiful little like, I mean, it sounds way better than it really was. Like I was eating top ramen, I was doing all those things, but it was like that taste of freedom that I really, really was after. And like, it was just an interesting kind of discovery for me. And I was just super excited about it. And I think like, that's one thing that I've always admired about how you approach these kind of groups that you're working with, how you've done this the whole time, right? It's very organic, and it's very much like you touch on, I think, sneaker culture type things, but it's very much about the functionality of it, right? And that is the beauty of it to me, is like Mike said, like he's got it hanging on the door. It's like, when you go to the gym, you don't want to be, especially if you're a sneakerhead, you don't want to be messing up, the like, expensive shoes, especially nowadays, because everything costs so much. But like, you also don't want to necessarily, like play, you don't want to hoop in a pair of, retro Jordans or something like that either. So.
Yeah, again, functionality has always been, I think I told you guys I'm a physical therapist by trade. So, functionality is always, first and foremost with me. And I love having just creating extra real estate on bags is something, unique that, there are other sneaker bags around, but, we have that, the portability functionality that you could, swipe the SP1s, you could change up the flavors on there, or you could, you could do whatever. You could express yourself. I like having the different expression. You can go with the straight up black one day. You can go with the crazy camo one day and whatnot. So my wife always told me it's always about accessories, man. So I'm like, all right.
Hey, she's right though.
Yeah.
Dude, but my first experience with the SP1 was you had sent them over to Nick, who had sent them to us last year. And it was right before I went to Chicago for the All-Star game.
Okay, nice, man.
I never knew how much I needed that until I put it on my bag and used it. It was so easy to, because some like short trips, you want to keep as much stuff with you on the plane as possible.
Right. Exactly, man. True.
And I was like, I don't want them getting my shoes. You don't know who's throwing your stuff around. It's nice to have like, oh, I got my shoes and my laptop with me. Perfect. And I just kind of carried it around when I went. If I bought something, I can chunk the box, throw the extra pair of shoes in the bag. It was perfect, man.
Cool. Appreciate that, man. Yeah, I love that. I love hearing those stories, man. So keep them coming, guys.
For sure.
Well, it's just, I think it's just crazy because like it's a similar, there's just a lot of people that I think are trying to like, there's people that are like out there just living these lives that they don't really understand like something like that, where it's like such a simple thing, right? I mean, obviously, in like getting into design and stuff like that, I'm sure it's more complicated. But like from just a usability thing, it's like if this is sitting in your closet or next to your sneakers, you're going to use this on a very regular basis. And I find myself like we do a lot of like couple day getaways to get over to the coast, and we just camp. I got the Honda Element, so we're just like pop the tent off the back and like sleep on the coast somewhere. Nice. But like I want to carry a couple pairs of shoes, right? I want to have one that I can get muddy if we're going to go, like hiking or something, taking the dog out. But I also want to have a nice pair if we're going to go, anywhere that I feel like I should have something a little less rugged on. Right. And it just becomes like I don't know, man. I feel like I'm just totally gassing you up right now, but it's so true. Like how much this actually has helped me throughout the years.
Man, I love I love going camping too. So, I go out there hiking, and same thing. I have like my around the campfire shoes that I just wrap around my big ass backpack, so it's that portability factor it's real germane to whatever sport you're playing or activity you're doing, man. So I'm glad people.
Yeah. So how did obviously the SP1 being like kind of the kickoff of Solepack. How did you evolve through things throughout the years? Because now you've got a few different variations, right, to choose from.
Yeah, for sure. So the SP1 was first, right? Again, it's almost like reverse engineering the whole process. It was like the tail wagging the dog there for me. It's you had this unique product, that wasn't the main product, wasn't a backpack. It was, an extension to it. But again, the most unique product. So that was that led the way. Then I started doing like we were doing like sneaker shows, and a lot of kids, ball player kids, would come up to us, and I was like, "Hey, check this out! You could rock this on your backpack." They're like, "I don't wear backpacks in the summer. I wear string bags during the summer." And I was like, "Oh, all right. Yeah, hold on, I got you. Let me go back into the." I started cutting up bags and putting our signature of your separate shoe compartments in there, and for me, the name of the bag is GRF, which is a kinesiology physical therapy term for ground reaction force, meaning you took in some information, you absorbed it, and you release that energy. So it kind of that's what GRF stands for, is ground reaction force. So I took all that information from these kids and I gave them back something they could use, man. And so that was the GRF string bag. Then maybe 5-6 years into the whole movement, a lot of people are like, you should just make your own backpack. Like, I don't have a backpack for this to go on to right now, but if you guys should make your own backpack, I buy the whole thing. So I was like, all right, I got you guys. Hold on.
I'll be back. Hold on.
Yeah. So that backpack you see it's based off of, back in the day, I grew up around going in and out of the city, Lower East Side. I used to, I had a lot of people.
So y'all can see it.
Yeah, a lot of people.
I get the whole thing.
Oh, there you go, man.
I put it up there, so you got to show it to everybody.
Man, for sure. So my homie we had homies that were starting, like 555 Soul was starting off at the time in the Lower East. So my friend had this nice dope, like 555 Soul. I don't tell this to too many people, man. So he had this nice, bucket 555 Soul bag. I was like, yo, I got to have one of those one day, man. And I never really got one. So, I was like, let me formulate this after, that nice 555 Soul bucket bag / like Nike Elite bag. And so we came up with some real cool, simple bag that yet you could still attach your SP1 onto, man.
Yeah. Well, dude, after all that, like running into like making the changes or making a new product just based on kind of that demand, you got the product out there, social media, you see everything pretty much at all times. You can get tagged and whatever. Who's the most surprising person or people you've seen with your bag, with your product so far?
It's been crazy, man. Nothing crazy, nothing big, mind blowing yet. I appreciate. I love when I see someone in the subway posting a picture. It's like my homies in the city. Yo, I saw a random, Solepack in the wild coming along, man.
Nice.
I was like, but other bigger projects that people like the ASAP Ty Wab. He put us in his video, man. So I was like, that's with ASAP Ferg was on that video with our bags being pulled out. I was like, oh, that's pretty dope, man.
That's what's up.
Yeah, stuff like that, and track and field star. I think Mickey Barber back in the day. She used to do a lot of she's LA girl, right? She used to do a lot of I sent her some stuff. She'd post some pictures, but there's always a difference for me. Like, all right, someone posts a picture, but are they actually using it, right?
For sure.
So I pull up to a lot of these track and field events, and she's like, "Yo," and she point down. It's like she has her pink SP1 there. I'm like, "Oh my god!" And so
that's awesome.
Yeah, that shit means the world to me, man. So that's good stuff, man.
That's so dope.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
How did so you did you got the NBA lab, right, where you've gotten to actually do like official partnerships with. I mean, thankfully you got a Kings one in there because I don't want to take any shots at any of my other friends that are creating product with NBA lab, but I don't see a lot of love for the Kings. So, but how? I mean, that's a crazy opportunity, right? I mean, honestly, I think you might have just manifested that when we were eating breakfast one day because I'm pretty sure we talked about that.
Yeah, right.
Over a.
I think
like
so,
I'm not a bacon, egg, and cheese. I'm a turkey guy. So like it was a turkey, egg, and cheese. But I'm pretty sure we talked about that like years ago.
I think I did. I think we talked about that I was trying to reach them. I hit them up several times. They, of course, on social media, they don't always get that response. But then I got that call a few years later, like, yeah, we love organically what you're doing, just reaching to that sneaker culture, basketball culture. And, this product is, right brand on to what they're doing. And so I was like, I felt like, for me, I was like, yo, Mom, I made the league, man. I made the league. Yeah, it's like, you got drafted.
That's enough, man. You're right there. You're right there.
I'll take it, man. Shit. It's crazy, man.
How did that like play out? Did you get to, you don't have to get in too specific, but
sure.
Were you able to pick and choose the teams? And, like, is that like something where, you might see new teams down the road from you guys, or what does that look like for you?
Yeah, I think they pretty much, when they approached us, they said you have to do. They try to do even amount of East Coast, West Coast teams. So they, I sat down with my homies. All right, let's examine the markets. Let's see which ones will be popping, which ones we might have some personal relationships with people in certain markets, like Sacramento. Let's see if we could have an effect there. But yeah, we pretty much, we gave them a list, and they're like, yeah, let's do it. I think we travel, again, that unique avenue, having the SP1 being a patented product that no other company can make thus far. So we kind of had a lot of flexibility in the matter. So we started with his teams. We started with that artwork from Billy Kidd from the NBA Lab. He blessed us with a camouflage player pattern. And I think moving forward, we're looking to do maybe some player profile bags with the NBA PA involved too, the Players Association. So,
nice.
Certain things we just got to see if they're executable. So,
yeah,
nice.
Yeah, we'll see.
That's so cool though, man. I think anybody that's listening to this is, maybe not everybody, but a large portion of our audience is obviously a huge sneaker and NBA fan, right? It kind of goes hand in hand, especially, our age, right? And to me, like, I could totally relate. Like, it is like, I'm phoning Mom and saying like, yo, you're not going to believe this.
I'll tell you, man, it's huge for me. Like you said, basketball and NBA is my life, pretty much. Are you guys still there?
Yeah.
All right. Yeah, NBA and basketball was my life, and just to have something like that, come across the plate is mind blowing for me. And just, you have to take a step back, and being the leader of the company, it's always, relax, take a step back and, take it for what it is. But with that, I was like, yo, I can't just sit back and relax.
Yeah.
And those guys are, super, they're great to work with, and they're like family. They're nurturing. They let you, experiment. They let you, take the reins a little bit. But I'm a team player, and I love working in the meshwork of a team, because I understand what it takes to win championships, man. And I understand you surround yourself with good people. So they are definitely good people to work with, and appreciate them for always having us.
Nice. Now, Mike, you guys just dropped like gym shorts, basketball shorts not too long ago. Yeah. First of all, they were dope. Second of all, do you guys see kind of expanding that partnership with the NBA with apparel maybe? I don't want to give too much away if that's something on the back burner, but you don't have to answer that. But you can just kind of wink and nod. And
you heard it here first. Me and LeBron are releasing these pairs right now. Just playing.
Boom, there we go. Where do I buy them at?
Not yet. I think that's the tricky part. I think with the lab, again, they're primarily working with us, since we have that cool niche there. Since there is a tremendous amount of players in the apparel market already, so we have nothing on the burner yet. But shout out to the New Jersey Sets fan for working those shorts for us. A real important piece for us as we're really working with this for the soul of the game platform. For me is something I'm really sinking my teeth into this year. It's really 2020 has taught us a lot of lessons. So 2021, I'm really trying to really resound with a lot of things, again, like working with you guys, stuff that really had a cultural effect on why we started and why we're here having these conversations right now. So, for the soul of the game is what it's about for me in 2021.
Nice,
and beyond, almost.
Yeah.
That's awesome, man. With that NBA Lab partnership, did you, so I guess I should ask, just so the listeners know, like you can obviously shop solepack.com, but is the product available in other places as well? And then with the NBA Lab thing, I feel like I thought I saw it maybe on another store someplace. Am I right, or am I just making that up?
You had a pop-up shop somewhere, or you have like a space somewhere, don't you?
We had a spot, like a pop-up shop through the agency in LA. It's like a coffee shop slash pop-up shop on the weekends on Melrose over there. So shout out to those
Gotcha.
guys for having us. But yeah, we were trying to get into, we were at same thing NBA All-Star game last year, man, and it was everything was momentum picking up. We did the release of the Kings bag that weekend with you guys too, with Nick. And, I think everything just caught on hold a little bit, but, that's the plan, is to get it into perhaps all the retailers. We're trying to test out smaller retailers right now. And we have a few, like we're in Get a Clue in
Nice.
Sacramento over there, man. We're a few shops here in New York.
Nice.
So, just trying to grow out and still spread the brand awareness. Because, again, the uphill battle is a lot of these retailers, they don't know how to still wrap their head around it. So for me, it's always reach back out to the community. Let's let that be the resounding voice for us. It's always our community, and from what they express on social media to where they bring it back to their schools, bring it back to their stores, and say, hey, you guys should be carrying us. So it's all organic for us, man.
Yeah. Have you ever worked with any schools or any, like, because I heard you say that and I just thought about, like, schools are always like getting gym bags and stuff for their kids.
Yeah,
Do you guys work directly with like schools and school districts for their athletic, I guess apparel, I guess that'd be equipment maybe?
Yeah, for sure. We've done a few like AU programs, some programs here, and we work with Cardinal Hayes in the Bronx up here. It's a bigger Catholic school that put us on last year or so, man. So again, it's sporadic, so we're trying to make that a more continuous, a real routine, cyclical type of relationship. So again, we're not trying to push a crazy product that they don't need. I think it's all functional, relatable products that can benefit school programs.
Yeah, man.
Positive messages too. So.
Yeah, that's awesome, man. Is there anything that you have in the works that people can look forward to? Besides that LeBron collab.
Yeah,
just keep that one down low. We want to get first dibs at buying that one.
Don't tell me about it, but I think the biggest thing we started, which I'm passionate about, is using our bags as canvases for artist expression. Still, I think that's to have a voice out there, to whether it's to resound on like social equity or whatnot. I think those are important responsibilities as a brand owner. Like we have real estate on sides of bags as people travel, so it's for me, I like to have that be something positive and effective. So we did some stuff last year with Rich too. He's a creative visual artist. I think he's with Viacom now. So we used his. We did a nice handmade collection with manufactured here in New York and New Jersey. It's called Cautious Optimism. It was like this cut off thumb and his own ripstop camo, and it was a great just tribute to pay attention to. We're all positive people, but just be cautious as we tread the waters we were in, especially with the environment at the time and just moving forward. So we have a few artists moving forward as well. Some artists from Miami and from New York, overseas, from Asia, that we're trying to work with. So a lot of artistic pieces that speak a little bit, and again, working maybe in more NBA Lab stuff, and what else? Just further, maybe I would like to go into the more apparel type ventures with other folks to really connect on the grassroots levels with other garments that inspired our journey along the way.
Oh man.
Yeah.
Well,
do you find that go ahead, Mike.
Oh no, I was gonna say I got a new segment for you, but this is me being purely selfish at this point. Diaper bags. Look, I'm about to have a new one here in a couple months, and I'm like, diaper bags, bro. I can't be carrying around no frilly thing. Help me out.
That's a huge market, man. That's a huge market,
I'm
man.
just saying, man. Like, I will be your spokesperson. What you need from me?
Oh man. Well,
Got
so
you.
when you're doing these collaborations with the artists, with the like the school there in the city,
No.
do you find those types of more localized things resonate more? Like, do you, or I guess like beyond the actual like, uh, I don't know, maybe the audience that exists, like for that partner? Because one thing that I'm really fascinated with sneakers about right now, and I think this is going to be something that really kind of is a something that all the brands, whether you're a sneaker brand or adjacent, um, as we get out of this pandemic and we like truly have the freedom to kind of go into to stores and get back out in the world the way we used to live, I personally am just I'm just looking forward to going in and being around people. Like, I'm a very social person, but I'm so much better in person than I am on a camera or on the internet. Even though I make my living on the internet, like, like, I mean, I wanted to meet with you the moment I moved to New York. It was like, we like lined that up because I just think that's such an important piece. But it makes me wonder
too,
if
man.
like some of these collaborators, or even like thinking about like if you're in a store in the city, or if you're in a store in LA, even if it's a pop-up type thing, those types of things to me might even have like even more value moving forward. And just curious, like how it's received from the customers for you when you do those types of things. Do you get a lot of good feedback from that, or is that, what does that look like for you guys?
You're talking about like in-person events usually, or?
Yeah, and I guess like maybe if you could speak on like the regionalization of things too, right? Because being that you've got a lot of success being there, that you're in the hometown of New York, but like I think there's something to be said about that. Like, you're also like in a really awesome place in terms of being small enough to be dynamic, to say we're going to do this Kings thing, even though it might not be New York size market. We know that we can do it and make it work.
Yeah, for sure. I think it's important you understand the it's great working with your friends with Samir as well. Having
Yeah.
people that working with Samir has been great. He's been really has an ear to the market, and he has the regional connection, say in LA or Sacramento by you. But for me in New York, those things do resound so much. I think, again, if you link up with someone that is passionate about their program first and foremost, and is looking out for their kids or their community, and to have a small business like myself where they can actually meet, again, nothing against, I guess it is. I guess it is against the bigger brand. Say you can't meet with a bigger brand in person, right? And have a conversation with them and show them, these kids, that this is an everyday person, that he wasn't a designer, whatever, by trade, starting up, and he had a bumpy road to get to where he is, but he doesn't stop. He's put in, he's put in the hours, and it's getting him to a certain place, and that's the message I love. When someone asked me to speak to a bunch of kids, I was like, heck yeah, man. It's this journey is nothing is written down. There's no recipe for it. It's about giving your heart and soul, going out there. And I think, like you said, Nick, moving forward in a more connected, in-person environment, as we move forward, I think that's an important thing to continue, is reaching out to these kids, and you're not just hiding behind computer screens and telephone screens. These are real people, man, not just doing TikTok videos, man.
Yeah. Yep.
Do you guys do TikTok videos, man? I'm looking for someone to do some TikTok videos for me.
I refuse to even download it on my phone. Unless Nick's like, hey, we're going to make $100 a TikTok video. All right, well, then at that point, let's start TikToking our lives away.
I mean, I try, man, but it's, that's the thing that's like the blessing and the curse of social media, right? It's like most of the time, the perception is that like, hey, I'm one person and I've got to do these 10 different platforms. And the reality is only one or two of those really work well. Like, for me, it tends to be like Twitter and Instagram. And then like I've done this. I mean, I use Snapchat, I guess, semi regularly, but like not like daily the way I, use, Twitter or Instagram. And then TikTok, although like I'm fascinated by it in a lot of ways, it's just I'm very slow into it. Like I've had a few different accounts and I've been like, you know what, I'm done with this, delete it. And I'll be back a couple months later, be like, I got to try this because everybody's doing this. But I don't know, man. It's one of those things. I think for me, it's challenging to pick your lane and stick with it when it comes to social media. But also, like, there's a lot of there's a lot less stress if you're able to do that.
True.
Yeah, Instagram and YouTube is all I can't do anything else. I got nothing else in me.
Yeah,
exactly. Until we have a whole massive team behind us, man. It's with what I know for right now. So
shit, I'm like, someone else can do it on my behalf. I'm like, I'm gonna get my kids to do it on my behalf right now. Like, hey, you just do all these other things and just say it's me, okay?
Yeah. So, obviously now that you've had, NBA players and, track stars, obviously a lot of love from the sneaker community still. Like, I mean, I see it pop up on people's pages every week or two where it's like, okay, Mike's been doing his thing again, or Samir's been doing his thing again, like getting it out there. We gotta get Samir on the podcast too, because he's
man. Oh my
he
God,
is one of the best people. He's one of the best people I've ever met, and like, I mean, we like we'll see each other and we'll do the like, oh, let's connect, and we'll connect, and we're both 900 miles an hour doing all these things, and eventually we connect, and it's like we got to do this more often, like,
yeah, right.
Especially because he and I get to talk about the old days in Sacramento and the Bay Area, and like. He's just got an incredible experience too. So it's like, he's just a fascinating dude, but he's also just doing cool things. And I think he's got some more cool things in the works, but we'll have to get him on and talk about that. But I guess saying all that, what would be like, I guess like the ultimate dream for you moving forward with the brand, and like how you could, you mentioned maybe doing more apparel, obviously, I'm sure like a LeBron collaboration would be a great thing, but like, what are some of the things that you kind of look at as like, this is what I'm excited about, or this is what I'm going to challenge, push it a little bit further to see how far we can go with this?
Yeah, I think there's multiple challenges along those avenues, man. I think a lot of it involves like scaling up, working with say more a concentrated effort with say our athletes to really commit to a platform with them that we could continue storylines. Because it's tough to. I don't want to just do one-offs and all right, we get this one shout out and here we are. That's great. But I really love again. Everything's all about relationships and with good people. So I really love to have work on solid footing on month-long campaigns with athletes, whether it's in basketball or football, whatever. Man, I would love to execute on there. And, I think I'm excited to, if we ever turn the corner and scale up and where I'm allowed to work with a bigger team, man, I think the opportunities are endless. The amount of things that we can execute with line extensions to, different types of fabrics, a lot of the stuff we've done so far is a really, bare skeleton team that, almost freelancers chiming in or out. Mm-hmm. It's just been, executing primarily what comes to my head and what feels right, as far as the right energy, the right vibe at the time. And it's just riding that wave a little bit. So I'm excited to really take some left turns, right turns, instead of just staying on a singular path, man, and having more different variety of a collection, a real collection down the line, man. So I'm stoked about that, working with engineers or whatnot. I think those things really excite me.
That's awesome, man. Well, so I've got a couple little things here. You won't be able to see this if you're listening to it, but we're gonna do a little giveaway with Mike and the guys at Solepack. So we've got both the SP1 and the backpack setup. Do you have an actual name for the back? Oh, no, GRF is the other one.
The string bag. Yeah, the Omega is the backpack there.
Yeah,
Omega is the backpack. All right. So we got some. I specifically asked for the elephant print because I saw it, and that's like my lifetime obsession. Basically, like I probably talked about it on the podcast before, but being a big car guy,
like 2 weeks ago.
Yeah, being a big car guy, I wrapped the interior of my Integra like 20 years ago now in elephant print, or at least half an elephant print. So,
That's so dope.
yeah, like I guess like we're gonna do the giveaway tentatively the 11th through the 13th of February. You know, by the time you hear this, you'll have a couple of days to prepare, and you'll be able to follow Solepack and Sneaker History on Instagram to find the details on how you can get entered to win. We'll have a couple of giveaways. We might have a little bit more. I don't want to put anything on record yet because I'm still working on some things. But I'm pretty excited about that. And then we've got some insoles from Upmatic, which are also elephant print. They're out of reach. I can't get them, so I can't show them to you. But I'll pictures up on all the accounts in the next couple of weeks or in the next couple of days, so you'll be able to check that out.
Cool.
Yeah. Anything else, Mike G? Anything you got? Any other questions or anything?
Nah, man. I think I've asked.
Mike, all right. Gotcha.
I think I've asked him everything I can think of. I mean, I just know that, Mike, your brand is like solid, like quality materials. Like it really fills a need that.
Thank you, man.
Like you see people, yeah. It's like I don't know why if people can't see that, they're silly. They need to get your product in hand and realize it really does fulfill something they're looking for. And I did.
Appreciate that.
I'm sure we're gonna see them on mannequins walking by, Dick's Sporting Goods, Foot Action, whatever it may be. One day they're gonna be there. All right, I can start to see it, man.
Yeah, you heard it here first, man, on Sneaker History.
Boom. That's what's up.
Yeah, man. Well, so if people are wanting to grab any of the products, are there any discount codes they can use on the site, solepack.com?
For sure, man. We're gonna set up sneaker. You could use the code Sneaker History. We'll set something up for about 20%, any site wide, man. So you can grab the whole. We're starting to add full NBA Omega backpack kits onto the site, and you could pick from
cool.
Dubs, Lakers, whatever, Rockets, Knicks, Nets. So you could pretty much use Sneaker History for 20% site wide, man.
Nice.
Right on, man. Well, definitely, I appreciate that. I appreciate you taking the time to chop it up with us and share, and then obviously really excited about the giveaway too. So, I guess like I don't know if you want to we've been talking about at Solepack on the Instagram, but if you want to share your personal account or not, I'll leave that up to you.
Sure, man. Follow my journey. It's Solepack_Mike. Again, you could follow Solepack, SOLEPACK for the main account, and the website is www.thesolepack.com. So, check in, see all the latest. Sign up for the newsletters too, because sometimes we do some special releases. We did a special release a few weeks ago of all these leather handmade bags that we did. So, real check in and sign up, and you never know what we'll release on there too. So.
Yeah, man.
Thank you guys, man. I appreciate you guys so much, man. So always.
Of course, man. Feeling is mutual, man. Anytime.
Yeah. Cool, guys.
All right. Well, we appreciate everybody rocking with us. It's been a pleasure to have you on, Mike, and looking forward to this giveaway. Make sure you're following at Solepack on Instagram, obviously at Sneaker History on Instagram, and we'll have the details for the giveaway. But until next time, catch you. Peace.
Peace.
See ya.
Peace.